That's right, it's that magical time again. It's time for a book haul. Hello and welcome to my channel. In this video, we are going to be doing a book haul because, as usual, we've reached the point where the spot where I put book haul books until I film a book haul is full. Partially because, as you may have seen from the thumbnail, I've gotten a fair few mass market paperbacks lately, which is something I had kind of stopped buying, and I feel like now I've started up again, which you'll see there's kind of a theme with that. Where it's going on, but we're going to talk through all of the stuff that I've acquired since the last book haul video and go from there. So first off, I will talk about some book mail. So you may have seen, I think I've done shorts for all of these at this point, but books that were sent to me by authors, including The Bastard Prince by E.L. Montagu. He had sent me this and then some digital copies of some of his other books as well. Seems like it's sort of like folklore-ish types of tales and stuff like that. Which interesting cover here. So I am curious to get into that one. There was Proxima Station by Mike Molman. This is his newest sci-fi type of book, which is sounds like it's going to be a whole lot of fun. So I'm curious to get to this too. Also quite short, like the last one as well. So fine to have some short books to read. And then we have Grave Covenant and Dragon Apostle, books 1 and 2 in the Projectionist series by Thomas Youngblood. I had read Windland Vale, which was a prequel novella that I really enjoyed, and so he sent me the first 2 books in the series. And I'm really curious to get to these because that novella did a really good job of giving me a draw to the main series, so I'm really curious to see how that's going to go. But I am excited to get to those. So let's jump in really quick to before we get to the other miscellaneous things, all of the mass market paperbacks, because there are a lot. Now I got several of these from the same place, but I have been I've been hitting the jackpot lately with finding copies of some older series that I want to get to, and so it's worked out really, really well. So these are in no particular order, but we have Deraini Rising by Catherine Kurtz, which is the first of the Chronicles of Deraini. And look at this, just old school art, which is cool. And this is not even like I don't think this is a particularly early version of this, but it's still, so yeah, this is a 10th printing. But still just looks like that nice, cool old thing as well. We have Charles DeLint, The Harp of the Grey Rose. This is the first of the Legend of Saren Songweaver. And again, with the nice, cool, old school art here, which I do love. You can find a lot of these. So this isn't a specific series, but I've been very curious to try this author because he's an author that I've heard a bit about, but I've never read anything by. So excited to get to that one as well. And then we have Kesrith and Kutath, the first 2 books in the Faded Sun. Now these are super old, as you can see, with all of the yellowing. But these are, I think, first paperback printings here of these. And this is the Faded Sun and C.J. Sherry in general, books that I wanted to get to for a long time. We have Shape Changers by Jennifer Roberson. This is the first of the Chronicles of the Chesuli. Now, I think with her, I've heard the Tiger and Dell books are the ones that have been specifically recommended to me, but this is her first series, and again, it's this old, I'm a sucker for the old art, so just kind of cool finding this as well. These are all pretty short, actually, too, which is nice. So I'm curious. This one's a bit chunkier, but then we have Dagger Spell by Catherine Kerr, similarly named but different, and this is the first book in the Devery, which is sort of historical fantasy, I think, for these. But again, older series. These are all, for the most part, authors or specific series that when I did my decade series, talking to different decades, were ones that I'm like, I really do want to get to and I'm excited to. So I feel like I really hit the jackpot with finding that collection and group of things. I did find a good chunk of those, and some of what I have here are all from the same place, because I found a bookstore that's it's almost an hour from me, but it's near where some family lives, and they have a really cool selection, which was really, really cool to find. But then I grabbed a few other things as well, including the rest of the Regante books, or at least if there's not more than 4. I had the first book, and they had books 2, 3, and 4 of Regante by David Gemmell, and I've not yet started Regante. I've been meaning to for a bit. I'm a big Gemmell fan. I finished Draenei though, so Regante is probably what I will be doing next. So excited. And then I also snagged Son of Avanar. This is book 1 of the Bridge of Darnath by Carol Berg. And this is not one I've specifically heard about, but after reading Song of the Beast, I am just really excited to read Carol Berg in general. And again, super cool cover art with this one too. And this isn't nearly as old as some of these other ones, but still just like that's classic fantasy art right there. That's pretty awesome. And so looks really cool, and I'm excited to get to that. Then a collection of stuff that I got. I have been slowly visiting I've been trying to visit all of the different independent bookstores near me. In my state in Iowa, they're doing a thing where they have a little like passport type of thing, and you can go to all the different stores and get a sticker. So there are quite a few that are in my area that aren't too far, but I've been slowly getting to some of the other ones. So I've gotten some books from some of those, as well as just stuff from other places. And then there's at least one book outlet order in here as well, and a couple things I got in Pango, but I don't do those a ton too much anymore. But first, we have The West Passage by Jared Pekacek. That sounds right. And I grabbed this because I found a cheap copy of this, and this was one I read for my reading secret favorites, and it was such a unique book, an interesting one, and it's just really pretty. This is not quite like, this is more new school in the cover, but it's really cool looking and really engaging. So I grabbed a copy of that. I grabbed, and I am curious to read this, I will say, but then I'm going to mention why I bought it, because I kept seeing Blood of the Old Kings. And this is by Sung Il Kim, and it is a translated book. Also has a kind of just cool and engaging art. Now, I have heard a little bit about this. I know there's some other people interested. I'm not going to lie, though. I did buy this largely because the name of the author is Sung Il Kim, which is the name of the main character, the dad in Kim's Convenience, the television show, which I absolutely love. And I just thought it would be fun to have a book by Sung Il Kim being that name. So I really hope I like it. But I love the show Kim's Convenience. Check it out if you've not seen it. It is fantastic. And so I did buy it partially because of that, which, you know, it is what it is. And then also, I think those two were from Book Outlet. And this, I got Pulling the Wings Off Angels by KJ Parker. I did not actually know a single thing about this. KJ Parker is interesting, and this is a novella, but the blurb here is, as if Deadpool had slipped into the body of the Witcher Geralt, and I think Geralt. I don't know why I said Geralt. I know how to pronounce that. So that's interesting. So this is a really short one, so maybe will be one that I do kind of soon, just because it should not be hard to fit in. So that was a fun one there. And then I snagged this copy. I think this was from Pango. It's funny, it's got an Oprah's Book Club sticker on it, which I didn't realize was a thing. But Pillars of the Earth by Ken Follett, just because I plan to read this eventually. I think this was with that Charles Tillett book or something, but I found this is a freaking chonker. But this is just one of those books that I tend to read someday, so I figured I found a nice copy, so I grabbed that here. Then a couple of things that I've gotten from local independent bookstores, including Second Spear by Kirsten Hall. This is actually the first book I read by Kirsten Hall, but I got an e-arc at the time, and I still didn't have a physical copy, so when I ran into this, I'm like, cool. Because I've read now the prequel, the one that goes before this, although it's one of those series where you really actually can read them out of order, and it does work fine. And I've gotten several of her other books that I haven't read, but so I figured I would snag this one since I had read it. And then I thought it was cool they had the whole thing in one of the indie bookstores around me here. But The Prophet of Udan by Philip Chase, book 2 in the Dan trilogy, because it's been way too long. I read the first one not long after it came out, I feel like. And so it's been way too long. I need to continue. So I figured I've been meaning to get to it forever, but now I have a physical reminder to continue. So hopefully that will help as well, because sometimes if I have the book physically, it does serve a good purpose for me as reminding me, hey, read this darn book. So there you have it. Oh, wait a minute. I do have the one last late breaking thing. I snagged on Pango for actually a really nice price this box set of the Magician's Trilogy by Lev Grossman. I was a little skeptical. They listed this as being new, and it was not shipped well. There was not much of a padding or anything in there, but thankfully it arrived really good condition, and does look, I mean, these look pretty new. I'm not actually crazy about the cover art for these, but the spines look cool. I loved this series, though. It was a recent read for me, and I needed to get copies. I had an old used paperback of the first one, but yeah, so this is, I don't know, these are going to have to go on the shelf somewhere. And so I'm excited to have these added to my collection, because unfortunately trying to find a special edition of The Magicians is crazy because they're so expensive. So I at least have the standard hardcovers now that I got a good price on, and I'm excited to add those to the collection. So that now definitely is all of them. I don't have anything else, I don't think, that's hiding around here. Or if I do, it's too bad, because we're going to end here. And that's really it for this one. Make sure to give the video a like if you enjoyed it. Check the links in the description, as always, for the Patreon if you want to support what I do, as well as the Wizard of the Enclave Discord if you want to chat books, whether any of these books, other books, really anything at all. It's a lot of fun. We'd love to have you. And of course, if you enjoy my content, make sure to subscribe.